Big question this week. You're wondering, how do I get my kids to help me clean up around the house? Ooh. And really, this question doesn't have to be for just kids. Like pretty much every question you ask me, you might see this theme that it applies to any person in our life. So maybe the same scenario happens with your partner or a coworker, or just people that you're sharing space with. I think the key for this one is really kind of your starting place. When you approach the situation with like that frustrated, angry, demand energy, you like there's an underlying should there, right? Like you should clean this up. This was your mess. And the should is really like valuing what you value, right? Which is like valuing order or like cleanliness over whatever it is they're valuing. And, maybe we don't know that yet. So the first step is really, what are you feeling? Getting really clear on what you're needing. And then once you've really resonated in that for a while, and you're feeling pretty calm, then you can move into conversation. So it's not a demand energy anymore. It's expressing what your need is and why that's important to you, and inviting the other person in to help meet the need. Now, I'm just thinking about my own life, and one of my children, if I were to share what my need is, walking into the kitchen and like, I feel so frustrated and overwhelmed and exhausted when I walk into the kitchen and I see dishes everywhere on the table and there's no spot for me to sit. Now, I'll then maybe share my need, or maybe they can infer. But sometimes I might pause here. I might not even make a request. Maybe they'll look up and pay attention, and if they don't really say anything next, then I'll say, would you guys mind, like, I do have a request in mind. Would you mind putting your dishes in the sink after you're done eating so that at least the table is clear enough for, me to sit down and have my food? And quite often, yeah, sure. It didn't even occur to them that I might walk in and have this need for cleanliness, because they were meeting other needs that were important to them. Now, I'm just thinking, if they are reluctant, or if it happens frequently, like after I made the request and they said, yeah, sure, and then I walk in and, it's the same thing all over again, then I might inquire, why? You said that you would put your dishes in the sink, and I noticed that you didn't. I'm just curious why you didn't. And, sometimes it's, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot. And so when I hear, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot, I don't get angry at that one. I actually think about their point of view, and yeah, they were in like this flow. They had this great idea. They hopped up and left the table. That's probably totally legit. So again, it's not coming with this angry energy, demand energy. It's coming with like openness and curiosity. And sometimes in discovering what their needs are, what they're valuing, I might discover that it's something I hadn't thought of, and maybe we need to, figure out something different so that both of our needs can be met. I can't think of a good example of this right now. I'm thinking of my youngest, who would typically sort of go in that direction. And I think for her, if suddenly everyone gets up and leaves the table, she doesn't want to be left behind. So she will leave everything on the table and scamper after whoever the last person was who left the room. So that might be something to negotiate. And maybe in hearing her reasoning, maybe I feel like, oh, I get that. I really understand why you're valuing that need. And now that I understand it, I value it too. So that's kind of the cool thing about approaching requests as actual requests. When you find out the other perspective, you might actually change your own valuing. You might decide, oh yeah, in the grand scheme of things, my need for this, I do want to rank it lower than your need for that. Or maybe there's a way to meet both of our needs now that I understand the importance of yours. So I think although this question, how do I get my kids to help me clean up? I think the expectation in asking this question was to actually get your kids to clean up. And while I don't have, quick and easy tips to get them to clean up, I do have tips to sort of create more gentleness, collaboration, understanding. And that's more of a process. And the more we invite people in to meet our needs, and we do that by sharing what's alive in us and offering the opportunity for them to help meet our needs, the more often we do that, and the more often we respond to whatever they give us in return, with openness and curiosity and, this sense of collaboration ourselves, it's like this self-fulfilling circle. The more you do it, the more it happens. And so while I can't say that in my house I feel totally, totally cool with the division of labor as it stands right now, it's a work in progress in my house. And I do feel really good about the way family members are interested in contributing. And I hope that will be the case for you, that you'll feel like the process fits with your values and the process is working in general, just needs some tweaks. Oh, I need some tweaks. My shoulder's cracked just there. If you have any questions that you'd like me to try to answer for next week, send me a DM. I am really keen to answer your questions in my tips series using nonviolent communication and gentle parenting. Okay, bye-bye.